I, 28 female, am expecting a daughter with my husband, 30, next year. Our daughter will be the first granddaughter born in his family. He has 7 nephews and no nieces so far. When he announced the news that we were having a girl, my husband's family was super excited. We already had a name chosen for our daughter, and then his family mentioned naming her the family name. My husband already knew the name would be out for me, but his family is not okay with our reasoning. For context, I'm an affair baby, and I was unfortunately raised in an environment where that was all I was allowed to be for the first 18 years of my life. My dad's affair was never taken out on him. Instead, I was the one everyone hated. My dad's wife was the person who hated me most of all. She found me repulsive and never hesitated to tell me exactly that. Her name was Annalise. She was giddy when she kicked me out on my 18th birthday at midnight. I never saw her or any of my biological family after that. My husband's family's name for the first granddaughter is also Annalise. It's been used for 5 generations already, and our granddaughter will be the 6th in the eyes of the family. We explained why the name would not be used for our daughter, and they were unhappy. They feel like I should add a positive association to the name by using it for our daughter and allowing her to be a part of something that she should be, based on the fact that she'll be the first granddaughter. My husband told them it's not happening, which was his final decision. But his family says I could assure him I'm okay with it and make sure we use the name. They said I was destroying something special by refusing. Am I the idiot? For goodness sake, the amount of entitlement that in-laws or families in general seem to have when it comes to a baby is absolutely insane. And the coldness of others, your dad's wife. You are not the idiot. It is your baby, and only you and your husband can choose your child's name. No is the sentence. Dear fam, I know the name Annalise is special for your family, but the name is associated with the worst parts of my life. Annalise made me feel awful for being born every chance she could. There's no way that anything positive could ever come from that name in our daughter. For 18 years, Annalise made my life as miserable as possible until she kicked me out. There is no way I'll ever give my much wanted and loved daughter the name of the woman who showed me I wasn't wanted or loved every day. You're the one destroying something special by insisting your family tradition is more important than your actual family. Perfect response. Traditions are lovely until they become handcuffs. One of my good friends had this happen with her son. Her husband is John Doe IV, and her mother-in-law informed her that she had to name her baby John Doe V. The name was a really old name that any kid would hate. My friend and her husband did not use the name. Her father-in-law later told them, "Don't tell your grandparents, but I'm glad to see my name gone." Your baby, your choice. Let another sibling use it if they choose to. I always find it insanely entitled when a wife/her children take her husband's last name, which is the vast majority of cases, and then his family dares to pressure their daughter-in-law to give her child first or middle names for some family tradition. Like you already passed on your last name. How greedy are you? Take the win and shut up. OP, congrats on the baby. I'm sure you'll choose a great name. They can name the second granddaughter that name, and the world will keep spinning. Our nanny is expecting us to rehire her after she takes maternity leave. However, there was a misunderstanding because how she worded it each time led me to believe she was quitting. She would say things like she was going to have to leave to take care of her baby, or she was planning not to work after having her baby, not take time off to take care of her baby, or take a break to take care of her baby. She ended up having her baby prematurely and told me she had to stop working earlier than she expected. Because of this, we were caught off guard for childcare, as we had expected a little more time to find a new nanny. In the end, we ended up putting our daughter in daycare. Our daughter liked it, and we thought it worked well enough. But now the nanny is called about coming back. We were confused and said we thought she quit. She said she had just meant she was taking maternity leave, not that she quit. If she had meant just a break from maternity, she would have clarified it when she planned to return. The nanny says she was expecting to have her job there when she was ready to return to work and doesn't know what else to do because she doesn't have anything else lined up. Initially, when we hired her, we told her we would need a nanny until our daughter started grade school, which is still 2 years away. So she was expecting to have a job for another 2 years. However, we don't need a nanny anymore. Our daughter's doing very well in daycare, and we feel like it's better for her because she gets to socialize more and she's made more friends. Not the idiot. According to the language she used, she quit. If she really meant maternity leave, there would have been at least one discussion about how long she was planning to be off. She didn't do that because she quit. There's no other way to take the statement. She was planning not to work after having her baby, followed up by no discussion of maternity leave. I can't even say this is a miscommunication issue because usually when going on maternity leave, you know it's maternity leave, mainly because it should be discussed when you're returning. You don't just return whenever you want and say, "So, where's my job?" She resigned, and the story is now being changed. She realized that she needed to work to generate money to feed herself and her newborn child while also paying her debts. OP, you found a better fit for your child. Tell her you can give her a letter of recommendation and you wish her the best, but you found a better fit for your situation. It's good you put your child in daycare because it's reliable childcare. Also, does she plan to bring her baby while she nannies? Or will she hire her own smaller, less expensive nanny? So OP would be paying the nanny for substandard service, while the nanny subsidized her childcare cost at OP's expense. Is your daughter happy in daycare? Keep her there. Do what's best for your daughter. I, 24 female, own a home inherited from my grandmother. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I figured I could rent the extra bedroom I don't use for cash on the side. I spoke to a few applicants, and I really liked Kate, 25 female. She seemed like a good personality fit. I asked during the meet and greet if she needed any special accommodations I need to be aware of, and she said no. However, 2 days after moving in, Kate drops a bomb on me, saying she has a severe smell sensitivity and asthma and cannot have any candles or fragrance in the house. I was taken aback. I told her I'd accommodate that, but I wish she had disclosed that during the meet and greet, since I'm a big fan of incense and candles and would have made plans beforehand to mitigate the smell. Since then, she's been policing every fragrance in the house, which is really frustrating to me. She asked that I don't wear or even spray any perfume on myself in the home. She then tossed away my scented detergent because she could smell it on my clothes, and it gave her a migraine. She complained and threw out my scented hand soap, expensive lotion, and body wash too. She tossed away my lightly scented cleaning supplies and even the old candles I stored. I told her to just tell me instead of throwing everything away because it's not okay to do that. She apologized but reminded me that no scent means no scent. I told her that I didn't realize dishwasher tablets even had a scent. She said that sounded very backhanded and petty. Yesterday I was baking some cinnamon rolls in the oven, and she came down yelling, saying that she couldn't handle the smell, and asked that I refrain from cooking anything like this again. She gave me a long list of other foods I'm banned from making. I finally had enough and said she was acting like a lunatic. This is now going beyond simple accommodations. I told her I suggested she either learn to deal with it or find somewhere else to live because this is crazy. Kate flipped out and said I was discriminating against her. It's illegal and she can sue. I told her she's just a control freak and I won't be a doormat for it. I told her if she wants to go down the legal route, I'd be more than happy to go down to the courts and provide all the receipts for the cost of the stuff she's thrown away. She got quiet at that. She's been staying with her parents since and plans to move out soon, but has called me every name in the book. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She can try to file a discrimination case. Everyone needs a good laugh now and then. If she finds someone who believes baking cinnamon rolls is an act of discrimination, I would love to hear their case. LOL. She didn't reveal her needed accommodation before accepting the privilege to live with you. You shouldn't have done anything to help that, but you're much nicer than I am. Let her go be sent free somewhere else. Light every candle and incense stick you have the night she does. Was the meet and greet in your house? If she didn't mention it then, when you had all of your things, you really were under no obligation to make any changes for her. She has no legal standing. She sounds like a control freak, and I think you dodged a bullet there. Me, I'd send her an invoice for my destroyed property. I hope you got first and last with a deposit. And the upside is, you know better for next time. Now get some yummy new candles, incense, wax melts, lotions, and soaps, and get your space back how you like it. Agree. Sounds like OP's former roommate was using asthma to violate your boundaries, not to protect herself. I have severe scent allergies myself, but you would never see me running around someone else's home, throwing away their things, much less not disclosing these issues before agreeing to live with someone, especially after they specifically asked me to do so. Kate strikes me as crazy. She's a wackadoodle. Mini update. Thank you. I'm definitely sending her the invoice. I was bluffing going through small claims court. I've never done it before, LOL. The more I think about it, the more furious I am about all my Bath and Body candles being thrown away. Those aren't cheap. Hopefully the invoice scares her enough. My ex-wife, 39, and I, 42 male, divorced about 4 years ago after 12 years of marriage. We have 2 kids together, tween and pre-tween. We live about 30 minutes apart and have split custody, but the kids live with me primarily during the school year because I live in a much better school district. The kids spend 3 weekends a month with their mom during this time. My ex and I co-parent well and usually get along fine. My ex remarried a little over a year after our divorce and has toddler twins with her new husband. She also has 2 stepkids, a young teen and a tween. So when my kids visit their mom, 6 kids are in the house. My kids hate it because they never truly feel like they're at home because their mom's attention is divided so much between all the kids, especially their young half-siblings. They tell me that they never do any activities when they're there. They pretty much always just stick around the house because it's so much work for my ex and her husband to handle that many kids. So I make it a point to do something fun the 1 weekend a month I have my kids at home. Camping, sporting events, museums, zoos, fairs, festivals, etc. My kids and I look forward to planning and doing these things together. My ex has started asking me if it would be possible to include her stepkids in some of these activities because they're getting jealous of all the fun things my kids are doing. This turned into an argument recently because I told her to stop asking. After all, her stepkids are not my kids, and I have zero desire to build any relationship with them. I told her that the only thing stopping her and her husband from doing fun things with the kids is themselves. She told me it's a lot of work with 6 kids and I wouldn't understand. I told her it was her choice to marry a man with kids and have more kids herself. That wasn't my problem. She told me it would be a fun bonding experience for our kids and the stepkids, and it would mean a lot to her if I would help her out with that. I told her that making her life easier is no longer something I'm required to do, and if she and her husband can't handle all the kids at the same time, then I am more than willing to revisit our custody agreement so I can have our kids more often, if that would make her life easier. That made her angry, and she called me an idiot for being petty. I told my kids that they should try to refrain from telling their mom and step-siblings too much about the activities we do together. They didn't really understand why, because we've always told them that they can tell us anything, but I explained it to them the best I could. I do feel bad about that part, because I want them to know they can be honest with both of their parents, but that seems to be the easiest way to keep the stepkids from getting jealous. What is it with all these people expecting their ex-partners to help parent their current partner's children? Not the idiot. Shut that crap down. You give an inch and she'll take a mile. The demands will never stop. Pretty soon you'll end up with all 6 kids. It boggles my mind that people this entitled exist. Like seriously, What's the plan? Keep mooching off the people who have zero obligation to do so? And it sucks for the kiddos, too, growing up with that kind of person as a parent. Also, what is it with people needing to have more children when they both already have children from previous relationships? Is it a need to do things over? Why can't they be satisfied helping each other co-parent the kids who are already there and desperately need attention? Because they are children of divorce and likely already feel displaced. It's one thing if you truly have the time, patience, money, and love for all of the children, but that's never the case. Your ex is incredibly entitled. You aren't a free babysitting service. You didn't volunteer to be a big brother. If her stepkids are jealous, then it's her and her partner's job to manage their expectations. Instead, she's weaponizing their jealousy to make you feel guilty. That's highly inappropriate. I suspect she doesn't want you to have any more parenting time because she worries about paying child support. I'm planning a family Thanksgiving vacation, and a really good deal came up to go to the Cook Islands. I emailed my son, 20, Ali, on Friday and called Sunday to see if he wanted to go. He's in college and I'm not wasting money on a ticket if he didn't want to go. I needed to know by today because I must get visas for my younger sons, teen, tween, and pre-tween. Well, he didn't pick up his phone, so I bought the package. Just now he texted me saying he wanted to go. I said too late. Already bought the tickets. Next time check your email or answer your darn phone. He said most people communicate by text. I said, well, most people don't get to go to the Cook Islands. Now his mom and my ex is trying to tell me that he's Gen Z and text is their primary communication format. Had I texted him, then he would have responded. I said I didn't care. I'm well in my 40s and check all of my communication formats because I don't want to miss anything. Am I the idiot for telling my son that he's not coming on vacation because he didn't check his emails? You are the idiot. Dear God, is this organizing a family holiday with your children or closing a business deal? One email and one phone call are the only chances your college-age son gets to go on a family vacation? This is incredibly sad. How am I in my 50s and know better than you how to communicate with my kids? If you're so good about checking all forms of communication, why didn't you also write in all forms of communication? Just think, a 10-second text would have made the difference. If this was a work assignment, you performed very poorly. Yep, you are the idiot on many fronts. You emailed him Friday? It's hardly surprising you didn't check his email over the weekend. Then you arrogantly complain that a missed call from you is more important than a message. What a load of horse crap, unless you never call him just to catch up. Then he calls you on Monday, likely after catching up with his weekend emails, but you just shot him down. You gave him far too little warning to justify kicking him out of a once-in-a-lifetime family vacation. Clearly, you don't care if your son goes on the trip with you or not. Your whole story sounds like some stupid controlling power trip. Get over yourself and find some way to make this right, because your attitude is unreasonable. Not the idiot. You sent him an email about an awesome vacation, and he chose not to reply to you. You called and he didn't answer, so he doesn't feel the need to commit to you unless he wants to. And to all of the AHs saying he shouldn't check his email on the weekends, they can screw right off, as he's an adult and should crawl out of bed, click on his phone, and read an email. If your kid doesn't acknowledge you until his convenience, that's on him.